the future of work isn't just about offering benefits. It's about ensuring that they're accessible, inclusive, and aligned with the real needs of like a diverse workforce.
Hello, and welcome to the Work Life Equation podcast. We explore strategies for balancing career success and personal well being. I'm Priya.
And I'm Paul. Today we're excited to welcome Alyssa Friedrich, Executive Vice President and Chief People Officer at United Therapeutics. Alyssa is a strategic HR leader with deep expertise in organizational culture, talent development, and benefits innovation.
And United Therapeutics is a trailblazer in the biotechnical industry, known for its cutting edge medical advancements and a progressive approach to employee well being.
In this episode, we'll explore how United Therapeutics designs benefits that meet the diverse needs of its employees.
Welcome, Alyssa.
Thank you.
You've had this incredible career leading HR strategy across multiple functions. What drew you to United Therapeutics, and how does its mission shape how you think about employee well being?
It's been an incredible career. I was drawn to United Therapeutics because of its unwavering commitment and to developing life-saving treatments for rare diseases. The company's decision, and dedication to innovation and being patient-centric resonates deeply with me. I'm passionate about working for organizations that prioritize meaningful impact. UT Mission shapes the way I think about employee well-being by reinforcing the idea that companies that improve lives should also focus on an environment where employees feel valued, respected, supported, and motivated. I appreciate how UT promotes a culture of purpose, ensuring that employees are not only engaged, but also are engaged in groundbreaking work, but also have the resources and support to thrive personally and professionally.
Alyssa, a company like United Therapeutics has a workforce very needs that work in different ways. You have some people who can work remotely. You have some people who are in R&D and manufacturing who need to be on site. How do you approach the design of the benefits that you offer when you know that people will be engaging with them in different ways, but also different locations?
Yeah, that definitely designing benefits to meet all the workforce needs is definitely challenging. Each group is unique with different needs and different wants. So we're always evaluating what we offer. We also gather employee feedback, which helps us ensure the benefits that they're receiving meet the workforce needs and also evolve as the needs change. We just approach it from a people first approach. We created an environment where all employees, whether working remotely or on site, feel valued and supported. And so, it is challenging, but we sort of take that approach, and that helps us meet the needs, whether it's meet every need all the time, maybe not, but certainly the majority of times.
Yeah, and I guess it's how can you be equitable and even meet part of the needs. I think there's value in, and people truly value the fact that employers think about that. Bright Horizons has the privilege of running your on-site childcare center, and I know you're in the process of opening the second one. And it's such a big, boon for people who are working on site. What led you to that decision, and how has it impacted employee retention and just general satisfaction from employees?
Yeah, I mean, luckily we have a CEO, Martine Rothblatt, who just sees the value in it and sees what the childcare crisis in this world or this country is in terms of cost and just meeting people where they need to be met. And so, we as, UT recognizes the challenges that working parents face, especially those that are physically present at work and come to an office. The decision to provide this benefit is often driven by commitment to employees' well-being, talent retention. We looked at, the sky-high cost of childcare and operational efficiency. By addressing a critical need, like companies like us, we are more inclusive and supportive in the workplace. I think the impact to employees is retention and satisfaction is really significant. Access to relative childcare reduces absenteeism, it improves productivity, and fosters the culture of loyalty, really. We're taking care of their most prized possessions, right? Employees feel valued and supported, leading high engagement and morale. And for those who have their children in our centers, where we experience very little turnover. And we also, as a company, experience low turnover, but certainly our child care center helps drive some of that. It's not just a perk for us, it's a strategic investment in the workforce stability.
I love that you talk about the on-site childcare as a strategic investment and not a perk. We had a guest on earlier in the season who sort of jokingly remembered the days when you would bring your dry cleaning to the office and you could get it done there and then it'd be returned to you. Now you get to bring your child to the office and your child will be returned to you at the end of the day. But, since you do have both, on-site employees and remote employees, are you able to balance the sort of childcare benefits for both the people who are coming, to the office versus those who are working, remotely and also have children?
So I mean, it's not equal for sure, because we don't have that ability to offer on-site daycare everywhere. We have a workforce that's spread out in probably 40 plus states, right? So we've chosen to put childcare in offices that are our largest offices, with the most population. However, a couple years ago, we brought on Bright Horizons Family Solutions, which is a benefit that offers backup childcare. And so, I mean, yes, it affords people even working in offices to support them with their childcare needs, but this really afforded us to assist those that were remote employees as well. And so that was a really, again, another strategic investment in terms of supporting our workforce. And it has lots of other benefits as well because it, offers for a variety of lifestyles in life stages, in terms of what it has to offer, not just backup childcare or childcare options.
Yeah, we should have you pitch our backup care services, Elizabeth. It's so nice to hear that in addition to childcare, you're providing this access to backup care, and backup care really, it could be breakdown in care, it could be close to home, close to work, across life stages, which is pretty incredible. What's been the feedback from employees, and do has I guess it's a two-part question. Do people feel like your remote employees feel like they've been supported? And a second part of the question was, maybe I'm leading the witness a little bit here. Was the fact that there were multiple needs across your workforce that drove the decision for backup, or was it another trigger that got you to think about backup care?
It was twofold. I mean, it was to provide some sort of childcare support for our remote workforce. I think it also added the benefit that we could support other aspects of people's lives, because it's not just people who have children who need support. And so with the Bright Horizons Family Solutions benefit, we can offer people who need help supporting their parents and elder care. We can help people who have kids who are going to college with the college counseling. We could help people with school-aged children with their tutoring services. So we looked at it as a strategic investment so that we can assist people at every aspect and every stage of their life, not just the 5 years in which you have childcare before your kids go off to school.
Companies like yours work really hard to provide, robust benefits to their employees. I love that you talk about it as an investment in your workforce. But, statistically, only about a third of employees fully understand the benefits that their company offers them. And, that's not great. You could have the best benefits in the world, but if nobody knows about them, nobody utilizes them, that's a problem. What do you do, or what best practices do you implement to ensure that the most employees possible know about as close to the full breadth of benefits offered to them as they can, so that they can take advantage of all the stuff that you put a lot of time into creating and offering to them?
Sure. So ensuring that employees fully understand and utilize the benefits, it's definitely a priority for us. As we want people to take advantage of the resources available to them. We take a multi-channel approach to improving awareness and accessibility. So we've implemented, several best practices, which includes our annual wellness fair, where employees can engage directly with benefit vendors, ask questions, explore offerings in real time. We have our intranet serves as a central hub for benefit information. And so they can access resources whenever they need that. And then additionally, we leverage our like internal social channel, and that to highlight different benefits throughout the year, ensuring, continuous awareness. During open enrollment every year for benefits, we provide detailed communications, interactive, Q&A sessions. We just, decision-making tools. And we really, hold information sessions so that employees can ask any questions that they might have, or we can, give out information. I think, through these touch points, we strive to bridge the knowledge gap and ensure employees feel confident in utilizing the valuable resources that we make available to them.
That's great. And I think it is, there's so much cognitive load in general. You're trying to sift through work, you're trying to sift through life, and then you're saying, now I need to figure out which benefits support me. And it's incredible that you're meeting employees where they are and trying to make it available as they see it. In terms of the range of benefits that you're offering, you've started with childcare, then you've added backup care, you've looked at pet care, college coaching, elder care, etc. The How do you keep up with what new benefits might be required and what might be a new request? You did talk about the fact that you're actively listening for needs from employees, but what else do you do to ensure that your benefits are cutting edge and remain the investment that you set out for them to be?
So I would say, we're very employee centric, and we're committed to supporting employees holistically, both inside and out of the office. And I think that's, a differentiator for us. We recognize that employees have diverse, personal responsibilities that extend beyond traditional benefits. And we aim to provide resources and address their unique needs in like every stage of their life. I think, our approach has always been like really around three principles: employee centered design, where we regularly gather feedback through surveys, focus groups, use data to understand the evolving needs of our workforce and ensure that our benefits remain relevant. I think we think a lot about like work-life integration. And so by offering services that like elder care or pet care, we help employees manage responsibilities that otherwise cause stress and distraction. And similarly, financial wellness and college coaching support long-term planning and stability, leading to greater peace of mind, which frees them up to be very productive in the office. And I would say, lastly, we think about inclusion, which is a core value of ours, and a comprehensive benefit package ensures that employees with varying needs, family structures, and life circumstances feel supported. And so whether someone's caring for an aging parent or, planning for college or, whatever, so, might be, they have access to meaningful resources.
I'm thinking here about the time we've lived through, and you're an HR leader who's sort of bridged the pre and post COVID world, and sort of the benefits that are being provided before COVID, the differing employee expectations, what's happened in the few years since. But United Therapeutics is obviously it's cutting edge company. You're thinking ahead. When you look at the benefits that you'll be able to provide, and perhaps the benefits that employees might expect over the next 5 to 10 years, what are some of the things that come to mind? What are some of the things that you want to make sure you're, if not ahead of, just at least matching that expectation that your employees have in the near future?
So I thought a lot about this. I think personalized and flexible benefits is probably, back in, I think, the 80s, we had this like cafeteria style benefits. And I could see that coming back because the needs, and I was just looking at this the other day, generational data and what is important to, the Gen Zs is different than the baby boomers, which is different than, the millennials. And so I think personalized and flexible benefits, where, we can cater to, unique life circumstances. I could see a rise in customizable benefits. I think expanded family support is probably going to, be needed in terms of, there's just so many caregiving responsibilities and elder care, child care subsidies, pet insurance, and even caregiving leave policies will become more of a commonplace as companies strive to support people through all the stages. And I think about financial and mental wellness integration. Employees are seeking holistic wellness programs. We're very focused on it to go beyond just traditional benefits. We expect stronger emphasis on financial education, emergency savings, mental health resources, stress management initiatives, and really helping navigate like through economic uncertainty and personal well-being. And that's really an important focus of us. And lastly, the elephant in the room is AI and digital healthcare
Mm.
solutions, right? With advancements in technology, AI-driven benefit navigation tools, I think will be more virtual healthcare services and digital mental health platforms will make it easier for employees to access support and where they need to get it.
That's fascinating that you're also saying both from an access and a delivery standpoint you see AI impacting the benefit space, and it'll be one to watch out for. It is the multi-generational element is certainly something that we see playing a role in terms of uh, how employers are thinking about benefits, and it's interesting to hear that that's a common theme. And thank you so much for sharing that perspective. If there was one key takeaway you wanted our audience to remember about how benefits can shape a thriving workplace, what would that be?
That it's a strategic investment in employee well-being and engagement and retention. A thoughtfully designed benefit package goes beyond healthcare. It supports employees at every stage of life, whether, childcare, elder care, financial wellness, or flexible work arrangements. When employees feel both supported professionally and personally, they are more engaged, they're more productive, and committed to their work. And so companies that prioritize, I think, holistic benefits create a culture where employees just don't show up, they really thrive. And, the future of work isn't just about offering benefits, it's about ensuring that they're accessible, inclusive, and aligned with the real needs of like a diverse workforce.
They just don't show up, they thrive. That is such an incredible summary and takeaway. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your insights on not only how United Therapeutics is doing that, but you as an HR leader thinking about this and setting a whole new way of thinking about employee benefits. And thank you for thinking about this as an investment. More power to you, because that's really more and more employers thinking about this as an investment will help support caregivers and working families as we head into uncharted territories overall. Your approach is holistic. It's truly wise, and your approach to well-being and thoughtfulness around this is really really inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank Bright Horizons. They make this easier for us, which is a blessing. And, they're just been incredible to work with and we view them as a true partner. So we wouldn't be able to do what we do without their help and partnership.
I love the fact that she said it, she thought about this as an investment. The CEO thought about the whole benefit space as an investment because, overall, if cost of care is so expensive that some support in terms of subsidies is really critical. And when employers meet employees, I think not only do they gain their gratitude, but almost lifelong loyalty. So they're thinking about retention, they're thinking about attraction, but thinking about it as an investment was my biggest takeaway from the conversation.
Yeah, kind of a corollary to that, we've talked about the past couple seasons on the work life equation about the 5 generations in the workforce at the same time. And toward the end, she talked about, taking something good from the 80s, which is the cafeteria style approach to benefits. And it makes so much sense because if you're new into the workforce, you're going to have different needs. If you become a parent, you're going to have different needs. And, later on in your career, if you're a caregiver or if you're thinking more about, retirement or what comes next, you're going to have different needs. And no one person is going to want all those benefits all at once. But when you get to pick and choose a bit, like you said, it's going to create that loyalty and have these lifelong employees who want to, as she said, not just be there, but thrive in their jobs.
Yeah, and I think the HR leader's job has become so much more complex now.
Yeah.
It is, the fact that she spoke about AI in both delivery
Yeah.
and access. It's, thinking about on site employees, thinking about remote employees. How do you create equity in the benefits? How do you think about, ensuring that you're meeting these different life stages, you're meeting these different generations and requests that are coming through, but also keeping in context as technology evolves and workspaces evolve and how people want to work evolve. So it is a pretty complex navigation landscape that they're sort of going through, which is pretty fascinating. And the fact that we have so many HR leaders who are thinking about this, from a business lens is very encouraging.
Well, yeah, and she also said like they have a presence in 40 states, and so like using AI, using technology to deliver benefits to employees. It's one thing if you're at one of their 2 headquarters. It's one thing if you're in a major metropolitan area, but if you're in a state, more geographically distant from everything else, and you can still get some version of those benefits via AI or via technology, I think that's important to keep those employees feeling like they're just as much a part of the company as those who are sitting in the headquarters.
Right.
To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Stay with us for our next episode where we'll continue exploring strategies for thriving in work and in life.
This has been the Work Life Equation podcast brought to you by Bright Horizons. Take care, be kind to yourselves, and in Alyssa's word, thrive.